Welcome back to Timeless Wisdom, a special feature right here on the Monkey Mind Mechanics channel. If you're into the law of attraction and manifesting your dreams and all that good stuff, this deep dive is for you.
It really is amazing how all these ideas from Neville Goddard, a 20th century mystic, are having like a resurgence right now. It's like he's speaking to something really deep in the modern seeker, especially when it comes to this whole idea of vibration being the secret sauce.
It's definitely mind-bending stuff. What really grabs me is how Neville doesn't frame it as magic. It's more like a fundamental law of reality that we've kind of forgotten, almost like we're remembering an ancient power we always had.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. He's basically saying that consciousness isn't just watching the world, it's actively creating it. Every thought, every feeling has a vibrational frequency that interacts with, well, with everything around us.
So it's like our inner world is broadcasting a signal,
Yeah.
and the universe is responding by like matching that vibe.
Exactly. Think of it like a tuning fork. When you strike one, any nearby forks tuned to the same frequency will start vibrating too. Neville's saying our thoughts and feelings work the same way. Let's say you want a better job. Don't just wish for it. Start feeling the success, the satisfaction, as if it's already yours. That's how you align yourself to attract it.
Okay, hold up. Isn't that basically what everyone says in the law of attraction space? Think positive and good things happen.
Well, yeah, it is similar, but Neville goes a lot deeper. He would even say that the classic quote, the kingdom of heaven is within you. Well, it's not just some feel-good spiritual idea, it's literal. That power to shape your reality isn't out there somewhere. It's in the depths of your own consciousness.
All right, I'm getting chills here. I'm still a bit skeptical, though. What if someone's just naturally negative? Can they just vibe their way out of that?
Well, Neville wouldn't say it's about ignoring those negative feelings. It's more about acknowledging them, but not letting them be the dominant frequency that you're putting out. He uses this analogy of a garden. You can't just wish away the weeds. You have to actively cultivate the flowers that you want.
So if we're constantly thinking, I'm broke, then we're sending out that broke vibe, and the universe says, okay, here's more broke for you.
Exactly. It's not that we're being punished or anything. It's that we're creating this self-fulfilling prophecy through our dominant thoughts and emotions. But the cool thing is, we have the power to change the channel and start broadcasting a different frequency.
I like that. But this whole vibration thing, it's still a bit abstract, you know?
Yeah.
Does Neville give any, like, real-world examples of how this actually plays out?
Yeah.
Like real-world stories, not just theory?
Oh, yeah. He uses some really interesting stories from the Bible, like the story of Moses and the burning bush. God doesn't show up as this booming voice, but as a vibration, this living flame that does not consume. What Neville's saying is that even divine power operates through vibration, and our imaginations are how we connect to that power.
So it's not just daydreaming, it's like actively aligning ourselves with what we want.
Mm.
And we're using our imagination as this, well, powerful, energetic tool.
Right, but here's the thing. Words fade, but feelings linger. You can repeat affirmations all day, but if you don't feel them, the energy behind them is weak. It's like the difference between reading a recipe and actually tasting the delicious meal, right?
I think a lot of our listeners can relate to that. We've all tried affirmations and vision boards and all that, but sometimes it just feels, I don't know, surface level.
Well, Neville would say that's because we're often focusing on the form of our desire, like the words or the images, rather than the feeling of it. He tells the story about a woman who desperately wanted a new home. And she didn't just picture it, she felt it. The textures, the sunlight, the satisfaction of having her own space. And guess what?
She manifested her dream home.
Within weeks, it really highlights this idea of sensory visualization, going beyond just pictures. If you're dreaming of that Italian vacation, don't just see the Colosseum, taste the pasta, smell the espresso, feel the cobblestones under your feet. The more senses you engage, the more powerful that vibration becomes.
Okay, that's pretty wild. This raises a question for me, though. What about the words we use? Do they matter at all? Or is it all about the feeling?
Neville had some really interesting things to say about that, especially about those two little words, I am.
I am. Now, those are two loaded words. It's like the ultimate statement of being, right?
Yeah. Neville believed those words hold some serious power. He said, whatever follows I am is a powerful declaration of being. You're basically giving a direct command to your subconscious mind. You're shaping your reality from the inside out.
Okay, so if I'm constantly saying, I am stressed, I am overwhelmed, am I actually like amplifying those feelings and attracting more chaos into my life?
You got it.
Yeah.
Neville was very clear about what he called the shadow side of I am. He said, do not complain, do not condemn, for you attract what you are, not what you want.
So it's really about aligning your self-concept, like your very identity, with your desired state. Like, I am successful, I am abundant, I am healthy. But you have to actually feel it, not just say the
It's
words.
like those words become the blueprint,
Uh-huh.
but the feeling is the energy that brings it to life.
Exactly. But what happens when life throws us a curveball? We're visualizing, feeling good, affirming our I am statements, and then bam, something doesn't go our way. Does that mean we're doing something wrong? That's the million-dollar question. I think a lot of us get discouraged when we hit those roadblocks. It's like maybe we're not doing it right. Maybe this whole manifesting thing is bogus.
Right. Neville had a really interesting perspective on setbacks. He said, obstacles do not mean that you are failing, they mean that you are alive. He didn't see challenges as failures, more as feedback.
Feedback. So, like, the universe is sending us messages.
In a way, yes. It's like the universe is saying, hey, there's some misalignment here. You need to check your beliefs, refine your vision, get clearer about what you truly desire.
Okay, that's a much more empowering way to look at things.
Yeah.
So instead of feeling defeated, it's an opportunity to learn and grow. But how do we actually apply that feedback? Like, what are some practical steps we can take?
Well, Neville offers a whole toolbox of techniques. We already talked about sensory visualization, but there's also the power of gratitude.
Gratitude. I know it's important, but how does that tie into manifest?
Neville said, gratitude is the most wonderful attitude of mine in the world. And it's not just about being polite or thankful. It's a powerful, energetic tool. By focusing on what we already have, what we're grateful for, we shift our vibration from a place of lack to a place of abundance.
So even if I don't have my dream job yet, I can still be grateful for my current skills, for the opportunities I have to learn and grow.
Exactly. You're amplifying the frequency of abundance in your life, and that's going to attract more good things. But one of the most powerful techniques, and maybe the most challenging, is what Neville called living from the end.
Okay, I've heard of that, but I'm not sure I fully grasp it. What does it actually mean to live from the end?
Well, it's about stepping into the reality of your desire as if it's already happened, not just thinking about it, but feeling it, embodying it with every fiber of your being.
So instead of saying, I want to be a successful entrepreneur, I should be acting, thinking, and feeling as if I already am that successful entrepreneur.
Precisely. Imagine yourself in your dream office, signing deals, leading your team, feeling that sense of accomplishment and fulfillment. Don't just visualize it. Feel the emotions, the joy, the confidence, the gratitude.
Isn't that a bit like pretending, though? Like faking it till you make it?
It's not about faking it. It's about aligning your internal state with your desired reality. You're not deceiving yourself. You're bridging the gap between where you are and where you want to be.
I could see how that could be really powerful. It's like you're sending a clear signal to the universe. This is who I am. This is what I'm claiming.
And the universe responds. It has no choice but to align with that dominant vibration. But remember, it's not just about thinking and feeling. It's also about taking inspired action.
So it's not just sitting on the couch visualizing, but actively pursuing those opportunities that align with our vision.
Exactly. Neville called this acting in the assumption of the wish fulfilled. It's like taking those aligned actions that naturally flow from the state of already having what you desire.
This is all starting to make sense. But what about those pesky doubts that creep in? Those thoughts like, what if this doesn't work? What if I'm not good enough? How do we deal with those?
That's where another powerful technique comes in. Scripting.
Scripting. I've never heard of that one. What is that?
It's actually really simple and effective. You basically write out a detailed story of your desired outcome as if it's already happened. Neville recommended using the past tense to really imprint that feeling of completion on your subconscious mind.
So let's say I'm manifesting my dream job. I would write something like, I landed the perfect job, it utilizes all my skills, and I'm so happy to be part of such an amazing team.
Exactly. You want to describe all the details, the emotions, the sense of accomplishment, as if you're recounting a memory. This helps to kind of replace those old limiting beliefs with a new, empowering story.
It's like you're rewriting the narrative of your life. I love that. But I have to ask, what about those times when our desires clash with the desires of others? Or when things just feel completely out of our control? How do we navigate those situations and still hold on to this sense of victory we've been talking about?
That's a great question. And honestly, it's where the rubber meets the road with a lot of these principles. Neville really emphasizes that we don't control the entire universe. Other people have their own free will and events unfold that we can't predict. So it's not about forcing outcomes.
So it's not about manipulating people or situations to get what we want.
Not at all. It's more about aligning with a larger flow. trusting that even when things seem chaotic or unfair, there's a higher intelligence at work.
That can be tough to wrap your head around, especially when you're going through a difficult time. Like, how do you even maintain that trust when things aren't going your way?
Well, Neville talked a lot about the importance of surrender. Not giving up, but surrendering to a power greater than ourselves, trusting in divine timing.
So it's not about forcing things to happen on our timeline, but being open to how the universe might be orchestrating things for our highest good.
Beautifully said. Yeah, it's like saying to the universe, okay, I have this desire, this vision, but I'm open to how it manifests. I trust in your timing.
That takes a lot of faith, doesn't it?
It does, but it's not blind faith. It's a faith that grows as we start to see these principles work in our lives. As we become more conscious creators, we start to recognize those synchronicities, those little nudges from the universe, and that strengthens our trust.
It's like a muscle we develop over time. The more we use it, the stronger it becomes.
Exactly. And that's what's so exciting about exploring Neville Goddard's work. It's not just about manifesting things, it's about expanding our consciousness, deepening our connection to the universe, and ultimately discovering our true nature as powerful creators.
It's a journey of self-discovery, transformation, and really empowerment.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Neville Goddard's Vibration is the Secret, what's the one key takeaway you want to leave our listeners with?
I would say, you're not just a passenger in your life, you are the driver. You have the power to choose your thoughts, your feelings, and ultimately the reality you experience. Don't underestimate that power.
That's a powerful reminder. And if you want to keep exploring these tools for transformation, be sure to like and subscribe to the Monkey Mind Mechanics channel and our Timeless Wisdom podcast. We've got a whole library of deep dives waiting for you.
Until next time, keep those vibes high.